Bonjour.
Ladies and gentlemen, hi. It's great to welcome you here for the 6 cross-video days for an exciting and packed agenda over the next 2 days. This is the 6 cross-video days, and it really has been a fantastic year. It's not, well, you can't feel it in the atmosphere right now, but it's something that I really feel. You can see a complete explosion on the internet of videos, both on the web, on the internet, and on mobiles. So this is going to have an impact on production, on creativity, because obviously this money is going to trickle down into production and into creating videos. We've had some really brilliant projects that have seen the light of day this year, and an increasing volume of videos as well. We're going to have 2 case studies that are going to be presented to you, very interesting. In particular, feedback on the experience, Make the Money. That will be tomorrow. And then Do Not Track. 2 producers there involved, Alexandre Blanchet, who's going to tell us about this project that came out about a month ago. I'm sure you've heard of it. That's made a lot of excitement on the web, and tracking internet users, just showing how much we are tracked and traced as we use the internet. So that's going to be screened later on. And then we have another couple of projects with a growing following online. We've seen growing number of channels, institutional players and brands also getting interested in digital, interactive writing, multi-platform productions. And this is something that we can see on a daily basis here, but in particular with the 60 commissioners that we have the pleasure of welcoming here over the next 2 days for the open market. And then, of course, the older players who have been there before, BBC, ZDF, LRI, DR from Denmark. All of these channels increasingly investing into this sector. Also, production companies, major production companies such as Lagardère, Sony Pictures Television, who will be here over the next 2 years in order to meet people, talk about projects. We also have Canopé, Universe Science, who are here as well to demonstrate their enthusiasm for this sector. And then a number of brands as well. We've got Red Bull, 3 Red Bull representatives here who are here to meet producers and perhaps look for investment opportunities. Again, another important part of this conference. And then, of course, we have a very international exposure, which is an important factor for cross-video days. And more and more opportunities coming out. You can see Pictonova as well, who for the last few years has continued its work and is going on and continuing to invest in cross-border projects. We've also got FMC, the CFC from Canada. They'll both be here in order to talk to us about changing market developments. And then, of course, we've got people from the public sector as well who have an important role to play. And I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome and thank the enthusiasm that has been shown supporting producers in France. They know how important their support is. We also have the opportunity to benefit from this support. And of course, all of this assistance is helping us produce more, which is all good news. These people, representatives, are going to be speaking later on in order to talk about assistance, the different tools that are available, providing assistance. They'll be here at 3:15 in the afternoon. But you'll be able to meet them at any time because the representatives from all of these authorities and different institutions will be present, and you'll be able to meet them in the course of the next 2 days. Then we've got the first association of digital multi-platform producers, we call them what you want, in France. This, we're very proud of this. They're called PXM. This association will be organizing a workshop tomorrow morning in order to tell you about what they're doing And obviously, it's an invitation for you to join the association. It's not a union, it's an association. That's how they describe themselves. And then, of course, we have the keynote speech tomorrow afternoon after the award giving ceremony. So thanks to all of the initiatives that have been taken. And of course, we're always happy to see all of these participants attending. Now, the whole of the Cross Video team as well, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank them for helping to organize this event. Obviously, there'll be more thanks at the end of the event after it's gone very well. And since we launched the first Cross Video Days, we always wanted it to be a crossroads, a meeting place for productive outcomes. There's also the CVD network, which is a network for you to meet during the event, but also in the course of the year after the event, to continue maintaining the momentum of keeping in touch with all of these people, and you'll get a password if you want to join that network. And then, of course, we've got 85 projects from 22 countries and 60 commissioners. I think there will be more than 500 meetings that are going to be organized. So you can see there's there's a real huge energy being invested into this event. Now, above and beyond the business and the business meetings aspect of this conference, Cross Video Days is also just an opportunity to meet people and to discover innovation. And on that point, it's our great pleasure to meet Noni de la Peña, who has a world class renown in virtual reality, or VR as it's also known, who has given us the honor of being present this morning. And also we're very pleased to she's also brought a demo which has gained international renown. And I really encourage you to go and see that because it's an opportunity to experience a VR. And I really encourage you to go and try it because it's a completely new universe. It's a completely new world of creation. So there's an opportunity to try that. There's also the Sequencer project, which has been set up as part of the contact market, but they've also come with a demonstration. And there's also a French project who will share their demonstration, which is currently with the commissioners, but will be shown to you later, which is called A Taste of Risk. And they have a brilliant project. If you know anything about wingsuits, basically they're like flying squirrel men, the people with no they only open their parachute as they come very close to the ground. So you'll be able to see that and experience that as you put the HMD on your head. Okay, so all in all, this has been a fantastic year for our industry, for the sector, for all the creative projects that have been launched. I'm hoping that the next 2 days will also be exceptional in their outcome. And I would like to take a few moments to thank the people who have allowed us to exist, have allowed us to set up this event, our sponsors. I would like, therefore, to thank our partners, Pole Media, Cap Media, CNC, who have been with us pretty much from the start. And they are the people who have helped us create this event and create Europe, and La SASCAM, who are associations and organizations with authors and creators who are with us today, above and beyond the producers who also have a key role to play. But obviously the creators and these sponsors, they are the grout between the bricks with which we build our event. And then, of course, we've got international sponsors, we've got French sponsors, we've got MIFA, the White Forum, Finteractive, which is a Polish institute, Power to the Pixel, that I think everybody knows, based in London, IDOC in Switzerland, the Malmö Financing Forum from Sweden, And for the past 2 years, we've had the great honor and pleasure of being supported by the Cannes Film Festival, who have allowed us to present 5 media projects that were presented in Cannes a month ago. And then there's Cine Europa, Digital Business News, Stream Act 2, Stream Delhi. This is the American newsletter, Canadian website, which is working with us, and TV 5 Monde and Digica, who have helped us to create the award, one for the best French-speaking participant and the grand prize. These awards will be presented tomorrow afternoon. Okay, just a few housekeeping matters, and then we'll cut to the chase with our first speakers. We've got the conferences and speeches in this room, but there are going to be, you're going to be case studies, and there are going to be other things as well. Now, this is an open forum because very often you feel that people on the stage here, but don't be afraid to take the floor, speak out. We want interaction. There are also going to be pitch sessions, which I think are a key element of this conference. These are 17 projects that were selected and to take part in the contact market, and they're going to be pitching to you. So come and listen to them, encourage them. I think it's a central part of our conference. The first pitch will be this afternoon at 5 p.m., and the second one will be at 11:30 tomorrow morning. Coming into the room, you probably saw that there was a workshop area with a program. Now, these workshops will be taking place tomorrow and today. They're half-an-hour workshops. I would say that these workshops are very open. It's very interactive. We're going to have SACD, the CNC, the SCAM as well coming to present their work, Labo Media that will be presenting their work. So as you can see, these are real opportunities to meet other people. So please, I encourage you to go and meet other people and network. Right, one last thing, practical point. On the Pleine Commune work stand, there is the smooth box. This is a little place where you can leave a video message. So I encourage you to go and leave a video message to make the whole event really lively and inject lots of lifeblood into the conference. And then, of course, there's a little quiet area outside on the deck chairs if you want a little rest or just enjoy the sun. And then at 6 p.m., we've got the cocktail, which is again an opportunity to carry on conversations and carry on meeting people. Right, well, it's about time I handed the floor to our guests and welcome them on stage. So let's welcome our 3 first speakers. They wanted to sit together on the stage. Denis Borto, the head of the Pôle Média Grand Paris, Vincent Leclerc, who is the president of the video library of the CNC, and David Duchesne, who is our fantastic sponsor.
Denis.
Dennis, right.
Très heureux de vous accueillir. Le pôle est auprès de nous.
Okay, welcome. And you've been with us right from the beginning of Cross Video Days. It's a great honor to have you with us.
Donc, le pôle média que je représente aujourd'hui, dont je suis.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here representing the Pôle Media cluster from the Greater Paris area, and we are a cluster of businesses dedicated to the digital picture industry in the Greater Paris area, encompassing 120 members and making up to 2,600 jobs and 645 million euro cumulative turnover. We are covering all the markets: AV, movie, TV, cross-media, animated movie, advertising, corporate, digital archive, and training or educational programs. We've been co-organizing the Cross Video Days since 2010, and this is very important for us because we have more than 1,000 subscribers and 20 countries represented here. This is a genuine advantage for our local territory. So those Cross Video Days have found their place in the cross-media landscape and experience a real takeoff at the international level. We are very proud of this event, which brings structure into the development of this industry, which is still emerging and which has become unavoidable. So we have to contribute to building the business models, and this is the mission of the Cross Video Days market. In order to further support media companies and digital pure players, the Pôle Média Grand Paris has started in 2013 a series of measures with the aim of fostering innovative development, innovative project development, and in order to support professionals and help them improve or gain the necessary skills in order to better tackle the cross-media market. We have started again this year this cycle of event together with INA Expert and the International Center of AV Training and Production. They helped us, and we started in January last year with the call for multi-screen project from the Lab O, our innovation laboratory. And last year, one of the winners was a project jointly produced with Canada. In the last 2 months, this laboratory, with the 10 awardees, has offered to them coaching by the best experts. You will have the opportunity to be introduced to those projects today during the workshop at 11:30. So the cycle of a training program is ending in September with an international masterclass dedicated to Boris Razon. You may know him. He just released a book entitled Palladium, which is a great work. Beyond those measures, our cluster, media cluster, has started in September 2013 the Eurotransmedia European project. We are part of this project, which is a 3-year research agenda together with Cap Digital, Plan Commune, and media clusters from Sweden, Spain, Belgium, and Estonia. The vision document was drafted at the European level, and it will be presented for the first time on the 23rd of June at the sunny side of the Dock Festival. Thanks to this work of research and this new structures, we are contributing to creating the upcoming French cross-media industry that should be well-trained and in a position to tackle the international market and meet the expectations. You are the pioneers, and we hope that you will be the pillars of this industry, which is still rising. You can rely on our media cluster, Pôle Média Grand Paris, and on the Cross Video Days to support you. I wish you a successful conference. Thank you very much. Thank you, Denis. I now give the floor to Vincent Leclerc. Vincent, you've been supporting the Cross Media Days for many years, and you are here representing the CNC, the French National Center for the Film Industry. Thank you very much. Your speech made me think of the sand tongue, which is a French image, which means that we are not anymore at the time of pioneers. I remember 2008, we had the project Gaza Sderot, showing to us that there was a new way of telling stories. And then various projects have emerged. If you take a look at the catalog of the Cross Video Days with 60 new projects, we are moving forward, and we are creating new ways of telling stories using this technology. So we have many elements that brought us to this current situation. PXN is a gathering of producers coming from AV, from the internet, and from various fields, and I very warmly welcome this as a good news. And the question is, how can we cross the river? How can we reach the other side of the river? What is the public action regarding this? In France, the public hand has played a vital role in fostering the emerging sector. FTV, RT, and their respective laboratories have been active, such as well as the CNC National Cinema Center, who created 7 years ago the Media Cinema Fund. We also have very high-quality training institutions who learned how to work together. The first challenge is regarding the means, because our fund at CNC amounts up to 4 million euro. This remains the same and makes up to 4% of our investment. We invest 245 in AV and 4 million in new media. So the means are an issue, as well as the amounts. These are capped amounts, and all projects are becoming increasingly demanding. We need to keep looking at the innovation dimension. Some projects are mature enough to be launched on the market, but we need to further innovate, find new models, and we haven't ended up this great adventure, so as to say. Then the international dimension is very important as well. I think that digital creations, as well as animated movie, has to be international. At CNC, together with other players, we have a major role to play as part of co-production treaties and agreements. This is not the case yet, but we have an agreement with with Canada for AV joint production, and both the Canadian and the French side are determined and willing to open up those agreements to the cross-media, which will ease the task of co-producers, such as my neighbor, who could observe, who could see that this genuinely makes a difference. Another Canadian entity is the Canadian Media Fund, which insisted on dedicating 20% of the AV budget to the digital content. So they really did speed up this gathering, this meeting point between AV and digital. This is what's happening in Canada. Is that a positive measure? We can discuss this. Anyway, we need to consider new ways of speeding up and fastening this meeting point, this gathering between AV and digital. WebCozy is one setting we started, and I think we can even move faster, and the public hand has a role to play. We have been active and an important player in crossing the first part of the river, and in the second part of this path, we will be also important drivers. And I'm very happy to listen to those fascinating projects that are going to be presented here today. Thank you, Vincent. David, last year we had for the first time a patron for this event. You were friendly enough to, last year Alexandra Schill was friendly enough to be our patron, and this year it is our great honor and pleasure to have a creative, digital and internationally recognized person who is creating tomorrow's pictures and tomorrow's stories. So this is a great honor to us. David, thank you very much for being here. You have the floor. Thank you very much. I will try to use those few minutes in order to provide you an overview of the current developments of new narratives and asking the question of the river crossing the sandbank. At the beginning of the 1990s, this book, written by Akim Bey, Temporary Autonomous Zones, has turned upside down the lives of various leftists. This was in 1993. We were using the computers and paying using dollars. This book is paying a tribute to the pirate utopia, those people who are moving from sandbank to sandbanks, who do not necessarily try to cross the river to join the other side. They want to conquer new places, which was the mission also of those fighters in the 18th, pirates of the 18th and 19th century. At the beginning of the 1990s, we saw that, I'm not used to this system, sorry. Do we have an audio output, otherwise it's not going to work. I wanted you to listen to a very specific sound, a very specific tone, which is the sound of this machine. The sound of your modem. I've been looking for this sound in the last 20 years, and I think we should remember this tone, this sound, which marks the turning point, the revolution. We tear everything down, all the paradigms, all the systems, the media hierarchies, and the various existing ways of producing and promoting. And I think that we should further follow on this model, because for the youngest among you, this modem was only operating every second time, and that was fantastic. There was a right to fail, and it was really complicated to connect to the internet, but once you managed it, you could navigate from one sandbank to the other one. A few years later, I saw the previous patron of last year's Cross Video Days, Alexandre Brachet. He's probably in the room. And meeting him, I came up with my friend Philippe Brault with a project dealing with a prison in the US. And Alexandre Brachet showed to me the credit card of his European company and told me, don't be crazy, but dare to be so at least a little bit. Don't go too far, just a little bit. We are on a market fair, so please, we should all remember Henry Ford. Although we are leftists, we know our basics in the capitalism history. This was a few years ago. I listened to a presentation at the festival in Zurich, and the speaker was quoting Henry Ford, who was saying that if they had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. But as we know, Henry Ford created the car. So this is our model too. The idea is that we don't want to follow the way indicated by studies, but we should believe in our ideas, in our stories, in our projects. Regarding those temporary autonomous zones, I would like to warn you, some of them are absolutely ridiculous. We saw this one at the Times Square after the Charlie attack, meaning that we should be careful. Claiming to be a temporary autonomous zone is not enough. You really need to have something to say. And I hope, this will be my last point, that in the coming 2 days we will be able to find a common ground on this idea of moving from sandbank to sandbank, on this dialogue with the industry, and bearing in mind the modem, new ways of telling stories, and using the web not only as a broadcasting channel, but first of all as a creative channel. Thank you very much. Have fun. Thank you very much, David. It was a very nice start in those 2 days. I thank you very much. We will meet again during the day, I'm sure. I now call Benjamin Augier, who should join the stage. He's an interactive and cross-media author, and he's deserving your applause. Thank you very much for being here. You're an entrepreneur. You just released your first book entitled Reinvented Narratives, available in any bookshop, and also, and most of all, on the web. You will be here in the coming 2 days, so please identify this person. He will move in the room and have a microphone so that you can take the floor or speak out during the debate. We will move a bit faster. We have 2 rules in that game. Using Twitter, you should use the hashtag CVD 2015. No, the hashtag is CVD. We shorten it this year. Second rule, we would like to keep a seamless development and interactive exchange. So during the conferences, the moderators as well as I will be attentive, will pay attention. Please feel free to raise your hand in order to ask questions. We will frequently take questions from the audience. And we are now moving on to the first panel dedicated to the engagement of digital audiences and good practices.